Putin is no longer playing defense. Russia has unleashed one of the biggest missile barrages of the war. Hypersonic strikes, jet-powered drones, and direct threats against Kyiv itself. Moscow says this was just the first wave. Now the question is terrifying Europe. How far is Putin prepared to go next? Until just days ago, the war narrative seemed to be turning against Vladimir Putin. Ukrainian drones were striking deep inside Russian territory, attacks were reaching close to Moscow, and questions were growing over the Kremlin's ability to maintain control. But now, Russia has responded with one of its most devastating missile barrages of the war, and Kyiv is warning that a far more dangerous phase may be beginning. Russia has unleashed a massive new wave of attacks against Ukraine, firing some of its most advanced missiles directly at Kyiv in what analysts describe as both a military escalation and a psychological show of force. According to reports, on Sunday every district of the Ukrainian capital was struck during a barrage involving Kh-101 cruise missiles, Iskander-M and S-400 missiles, Kh-47MAU-2 Kinzhal, hypersonic missiles, Zircon missiles, and even a hypersonic Oreshnik missile. The scale of the attack marked a dramatic escalation. Russia reportedly launched more missiles during the weekend barrage than it had fired throughout the entire month of May 2025. The strike package is estimated to have cost Moscow approximately £268 million, including around £37 million for the Oreshnik hypersonic missile alone, which struck the town of Bila Tserkva, south of Kyiv. Russian officials later warned that the assault would be followed by further systematic strikes, targeting what Moscow called decision-making centers and command posts inside Kyiv. Foreign nationals were also urged to leave the Ukrainian capital immediately. Despite the intensity of the attacks, Ukraine's air defenses managed to intercept many incoming threats. Kyiv's layered defense system includes interceptor drones, electronic warfare systems, helicopters, surface-to-air missiles, and mobile machine gun fire teams. According to Ukrainian officials, forces successfully intercepted 44 of 54 Kh-101 cruise missiles and 11 of 30 ballistic missiles launched during the assault. However, several missiles and jet-powered drones still penetrated the city's defenses. Ukrainian defense experts say Kyiv's biggest vulnerability remains its shortage of American-made Patriot missile systems, currently the only reliable defense against ballistic missile threats. Anatoly Krapchinsky, a Ukrainian defense industry expert, told The Telegraph,
"In the field of cruise missile defense, we have significantly strengthened our capabilities. However, we still remain dependent on our partners in several critical areas, especially in ballistic missile defense. This is where critical dependence still exists. Ukraine has still not received systems comparable to THAAD or Arrow."
At the same time, Russia is also adapting its drone warfare tactics. Moscow has reportedly begun replacing its older propeller-driven Geran 2 drones with newer turbojet-powered Geran 3 and Geran 4 variants. According to Ukrainian intelligence, the new drones are almost 3 times faster than the systems Ukrainian interceptors were originally designed to stop. Russia has also reportedly equipped some drones with infrared-guided air-to-air missiles designed to target helicopters and other high-value air defense assets. Ukrainian officials describe these combined missile and drone assaults as a fundamental shift in the nature of aerial warfare. The attacks now involve ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, drones, decoys, and multiple flight profiles launched simultaneously in an effort to overwhelm air defenses through sheer volume and complexity. Even so, analysts say the escalation may also reflect growing strain inside Russia itself. The Kremlin continues to face mounting battlefield losses, logistical disruptions caused by Ukrainian strikes deep inside occupied territory, and repeated attacks on Russian refineries and infrastructure. Analysts believe the latest barrage may be aimed as much at restoring Moscow's image of strength as achieving decisive battlefield results. But for Kyiv, the immediate concern remains survival. as Russia intensifies attacks faster than Ukraine's evolving defenses can fully adapt. Kyiv is once again under the shadow of escalation. Russia is now openly warning of a systematic series of strikes targeting Ukraine's defense industry in the capital, while urging foreign citizens and diplomatic personnel to leave the city immediately. Russia's Ministry of Defense said,
"The planned strikes are retaliation for a Ukrainian drone attack last week on the occupied city of Starobilsk in the Luhansk region."
According to Russian authorities, the strike hit a student dormitory and killed at least 18 people while wounding more than 40 others. Moscow described the attack as one of the deadliest Ukrainian drone strikes in recent months. In a statement issued on Monday, Russia's foreign ministry called the Starobilsk attack the last straw.
The strike on Starobilsk is yet another blatant demonstration of the Nazi and terrorist nature of the Kyiv regime, which deliberately attacks civilians and does not hesitate to murder children in cold blood.
The ministry warned that Russia would now begin a series of systematic strikes against facilities linked to Ukraine's drone warfare program. According to the statement, Russian forces intend to target specific sites where UAVs are designed, manufactured, programmed, and prepared for use. Russia also claimed that many of those facilities are located throughout Kyiv. In an unusually direct warning, Moscow urged foreign citizens, including diplomatic personnel and staff from international organizations, to leave the Ukrainian capital as soon as possible. The statement also advised Kyiv residents to avoid military and administrative infrastructure facilities as strikes intensify. Ukraine has strongly denied responsibility for the attack on the student dormitory in Starobilsk. Ukrainian military officials said their forces had instead targeted what they described as an elite Russian drone command unit operating in the area. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha dismissed Moscow's threats and urged allies not to surrender to what he called Russian blackmail. Despite the warnings, more than 70 foreign diplomats visited a heavily damaged neighborhood in Kyiv on Monday to pay respects to victims of recent Russian strikes. French Ambassador Gaël Vessière said daily life in Kyiv continued despite the attacks.
It's a way to demonstrate resilience, and I think it's extremely important that we, around the world, support that.
However, Russia's threats are unlikely to be dismissed lightly. Since the Starobilsk strike, Moscow has intensified missile and drone attacks on Kyiv and surrounding areas. Ukrainian authorities reported that overnight strikes killed at least 4 people and injured more than 60 others in the capital region. Now, as Moscow openly threatens broader attacks on Kyiv's defense infrastructure and warns foreigners to leave the capital, concerns are mounting that the war is moving into an even more dangerous stage of escalation, with civilians increasingly caught in the middle.